now turning to the Q&A, something that was raised, we were talking before about, Chris, which was the facial recognition. I actually had a contribution from one of the people attending today, who said that I think they were talking about not only sense time, they were talking about sense time, but also Vigilon and Genetech. Is it Genetech or Gentech? I'm not quite sure. But they said, the person said they've all shown pretty good results on facial recognition with face masks. And that gait recognition, which is G-A-I-T, which is the way people walk, which is what you were talking about, Chris, is a bit more reliable. Which is that. So, are any of those companies in your orbit, so to speak, in terms of your vision of what's going on?
Actually, I'm not sure. I don't have information about this part. So, yeah, I
That's
think.
fine. Is anyone else on the panel familiar with those companies? SenseTime, Gentech, Vigilon?
Yeah, I can speak to this, Michael. They're all in the video surveillance realm. I mean, SenseTime is certainly a known organization, very large artificial intelligence company actually based in China, and is actually one of the businesses that we are looking at in terms of a partnership. In fact, actually just very recent development in the last couple of weeks for one of our customers. We've initiated a conversation with their engineering team and ours to develop an integration to SenseTime. So very familiar with them, if you will.
Okay, thank you. Now, just to go back to Martin for a minute, you were talking, Martin, about the whole resort approach to things. And because, I mean, in terms of the work that we do, we tend to focus on the gaming rather than non-gaming, but these things are all integrated now. That's why they call them integrated resorts. So I suppose that, I mean, an obvious question is, I mean, there used to be a joke in the UK that if you wanted to live in a safe house, choose a house next to a police station. Well, you know, you could say that counterintuitively, that the bad guys might try and go for the non-gaming because everyone's so focused on the gaming. So if you want to breach security, you might be looking more at the non-gaming. So if I can just turn to Dave on that point, which is basically, are you involved in the non-gaming side of integrated resort security? Or indeed, are you getting more into that if you are?
We're also involved in non-gaming. I mean, you know, our solution can span both sides. I mean, it is very distinct between the two. You have your surveillance team that looks at, you know, the gaming aspects of things, and your security team is the non-gaming, the back of house and everything else. But our solution can work on both sides, and we have certainly many instances of that, of how they operate. So yeah, it doesn't really matter from our side. Sometimes the solution's a little bit different from one to the next, but by all means, it's very applicable.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Something that you were touching on before, Dave, which is also someone sent in a question, which is just how much opportunity do you get to even visit casino and resorts to actually find out what's going on the ground? I mean, is that actually something that's even possible at the moment?
At the moment, no, unfortunately. I kid, but I think my wife is ready for me to leave and start traveling again and go and visit casinos and resorts. But at the same time, you know, we do have individuals located, you know, in country, in Macau, in Singapore, in Manila, and so forth. So we are able to gather a lot of feedback, even if I can't do it firsthand. And there's other means as well. You know, I mean, video conferencing is fantastic in that respect, but, you know, nothing certainly beats the face-to-face communication and interaction. But no, it's certainly been a detriment here in the last several months. Haven't been able to do that myself.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael, if I can add on that as well. I mean, we all know that due to the pandemic, we've all got to change the way in which we do things. And one of the areas that we've worked on within the APAC, Middle East and Africa region is we've created a centre of excellence that allows us to basically do virtual presentations, almost like as if you go to an exhibition, to help customers understand and be able to see the technologies in the flesh. and us walk through the processes with them, you know, in terms of understanding their processes, and then being able to show them and demonstrate live on screen how that would work in their environment. So we've had to adjust the way in which, yes, there's no substitute for face-to-face. And I echo Dave, my wife can't wait for me to start traveling again. I think in 20 odd years, this is the most I've spent at home. But besides that fact, you know, we have to adapt and change the way in which we communicate with our customer base. And that means we're utilizing technologies in a different way to help us get to those customers and help them understand and see what it is we're able to offer.
Okay, thank you. Chris, I just want to bring you in terms of a question that's been put here, which is about confidence. It's basically that it's not only that safety and security is not only what you can do as a supplier or as an operator, it's also about the perception of the consumers. So if they perceive that something is safe or unsafe, it can have an effect on their decision making, whether to come to your venue, whether to spend money, etc., etc. So I'm just wondering, because Chris, you're based in Asia, right? So I'm just wondering, what do you get at the moment? People, I think where you are, maybe can't travel that much, but do you get the impression there's a lot of pent up demand from people that want to get into a land-based casino? And if so, I mean, is there any discussion around, oh, I don't think it's safe? I mean, do you hear people anecdotally talking about that?
Correct me if I'm wrong. If you talk about the penetration, the security service, if it is a high demand in Asia or in our areas, is what I mean.
I was being a little bit naughty by asking you a generalized question, but I'll to help you, I'll bring it back to your area of competence. Okay. I suppose I'll put it like this: some parts of Asia Pacific already have a lot of rules and regulations, etc., whether it's for online or land-based. Other parts of Asia Pacific don't have as many rules and regulations. Some don't even have technically a casino law framework. So I suppose what I'm wondering is, when you talk to gaming providers, do you get any idea about whether they think that people are more comfortable using products in highly regulated markets, or are they also still comfortable in using products in less regulated markets?
Okay, I think in Asia's area, or maybe particularly in Hong Kong, or maybe in Hong Kong, more and more security and privacy concern recently. So I think if they have more regulations or they have more security service, if the casino or the gaming provider already do some security assessment, or they can guarantee the data safe, it may give more confidence to the consumer, because they don't need to worry about their data or their privacy. Yes, because recently we talk a lot on those privacy issues, personal information leak. So I think this may have benefit. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good point at which to end it. Thank you so much to our panelists. You, Chris Chan, Martin Woodhouse, and Dave Daleski, and I'm Michael Grimes, GTR Asia. Thank you to G2E Asia team for the hard work which has gone into producing this, and thank you for hosting this. And there's one Q&A. What's this? Okay, all right. It's just someone's just clarifying something. There's a very quick Q&A. I would like to get this in. Residents in each of, so this is from Peter Wong. I think I'm able to mention his name because it's an open question. I'm Peter Wong from Total Credit and Risk Management Group, which provides due diligence and background searches for the casinos in Asia Pacific and the rest of the world. Our feedback is that residents in each of their respective countries are suffering from COVID-19 fatigue and would very much like to return to physical casinos. So there you go. That's where, of course, where they're already operational. So that's an even better note, perhaps, to end it on, an upbeat note for the casino industry. So thank you very much for taking part. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again at some stage soon. Bye-bye.